The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below.
It's do or die for the 1927 Yankees as we welcome you back to Yankee Stadium #1 for Game 4 of this best of 5 game series between the 2022 Texas Rangers and the 1927 New York Yankees. Here is the situation. The 2022 Texas Rangers currently lead the series 2 games to 1. Should they be victorious in this game today, this series is over and they will become the 4th team that's not a New York branded team to win and defeat the 1927 New York Yankees. Should the 1927 Yankees be victorious, however, this series will be forced to a Game 5 back in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field for a winner-take-all matchup for only a possible 3rd or 4th time in this project. With that being said, your pitching matchups are a rematch of game #1 as Waite Hoyt goes for the 1927 Yankees and Martin Perez will go for the 2022 Texas Rangers. Lineups have been exchanged at home plate between both managers and umpires. And Corey Seager is ready to get things started here in Game 4 against Waite Hoyt, going for it all here in Game 4. 136. Is Hoyt an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace pitcher. However, the Decided Ice says he is an ace pitcher, so that is going to be a no-runs result of 6 dot to start off this game and end the top half of the first. The 2022 Texas Rangers have gone down quietly, and the 1927 Yankees will take their turn in the bottom half of the first against Martin Perez during Game 4 of this series. 126. Is Perez a struggler or gilded pitcher? No, he is not. Is Julie Wera a hero batter? He is not. That's going to be a no runs result. However, there's a possibility for a solo home run check. And Julie Wera has semi slugger. However, the black die is not a 6. So that's going to be a no runs result of 2 dot to end the first with a scoreless tie after 1 inning of play. We head to the top half of the second, and Nathaniel Lowe will be up at the dish with a 3.44. Is Hoyt a workman pitcher? No, he is not. is low. A sad sack batter. He is not. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 from black die of control. Hoyt does have control. That's going to be reduced to a black die 3. And the 22 Texas Rangers are feeling a little greedy here. They want the lead. And they are going to put Lau on third base with a 3 and a 4. And it's going to be a double for Lau and a stolen base, putting him on third. And Adolis Garcia will step up to the plate here against Wade Hoyt. And again, I drop my dice. It's always like this every time I do a card and dice video on my channel. And here we go with El Bumby against Wade Hoyt off of the men on base chart. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Johnny Grabowski is not an iron fielder, so that's going to be a ground out to end the top half of the second inning. And they got greedy. They started a rally, but no score coming out of that, as the 1927 Yankees will take their turn in the second inning here at Yankee Stadium with a scoreless tie. And Earl Combs will be the leadoff batter. 5-6-6. Is Perez a star pitcher? Yes, he is. So that is going to be a 6 dot to end the second inning. And we played 2 innings in the books with the score of 0-0 after 2 innings of play. We head to the top half of the third, and Jonah Heim will be the leadoff batter. 3-6-6. Is Hoyt a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Heim a utility batter? He is a semi-utility. However, the decider die says he is not. So that's going to be an RBI question mark result, and we're going to have to roll the decider die to determine if the first run of the game came off the bat of Jonah Heim. And it did not. So it's going to be a no-runs result of 6 blank to end the top half of the third to keep this game scoreless heading into the bottom half of the third inning. And Mark Koenig will be the leadoff guy for the 1927 Yankees in this inning, facing Martin Perez. 3-5-6. Is Perez a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Mark Koenig a champion batter? He is not. So that's going to be a no-runs result with the possibility for a solo home run. However, the batter, Mark Koenig, does not have either home run king or slugger qualities. So that is going to be a no-runs result of 3 dot. And we are through 3 innings of scoreless baseball. And we are through 3 innings of scoreless baseball here at the stadium as we head to the 4th inning, and Leody Taveras will lead it off for the Texas Rangers. 5-5-6. Is Hoyt a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Taveras a hero batter? He is not. So that is going to be a no-runs result with the possibility for a solo home run check. However, there's no home run king or slugger qualities printed on Leody Taveras' card. So it's going to be a no-runs result of 6 blank to end the 4th inning altogether. the Bambino, Babe Ruth, will lead things off against Martin Perez in the bottom half of the fourth. 144 is Perez a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Babe Ruth a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result, -1 for Black Die of Control. And it looks like Martin Perez does not have control, according to the decider die. And it looks like it'll be a men on base result of 3. And we'll put the runners on first and second for the Bambino, Babe Ruth. And we will roll the decider. Yes, we will roll the decider die to determine what the outcome is for Babe Ruth. Either he has back-to-back singles or back-to-back walks, courtesy of the runners being on first and second off of my homebrew optional men on base narrative chart. And it'll be back-to-back walks here to start the fourth inning for the 1927 Yanks. Here's Lou Gehrig off of the men on base chart. 1-6 is, or excuse me, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 26. Slugger hits home run. Lou Gehrig is a semi-slugger. The decider die says he is a slugger. So therefore, that is going to be hit high, hit far, and hit way gone for a 3-run home run. And the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, puts the first runs on the board for the 1927 Yankees as they lead this ball game by a score of 3-0 as we continue to roll on the men on base chart for Ben Pascal for the 1927 Yankees. Black and blue dice is such of a 15. Scrapper hits double. Pascal's not a scrapper. And that is going to be back-to-back jacks for the New York Yankees as Gehrig and Pascal go back-to-back as they lead this game by a score of 4-0. And we will conclude matters here in the fourth by that score as the 2022 Texas Rangers have work to do as they are down by 4 as we walk into the fifth with the score of 4-0 in favor of the 1927 New York Yankees. Here's Ezekiel Duran to begin the festivities here in the fifth inning. 146. Is Hoyt an ace or dynamic pitcher? No. He is a semi-ace. The decider die says he is not an ace. So that means, is Duran a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result, -1 for Black Die of Control. Wade Hoyt does have control. So that is going to be a Black Die 3 result, putting the runners on first and second as they will try to play it safe and get the runs a more fresh and more easy way. And we will have to roll the decider die to determine what the outcome was, as it was a dot will be back-to-back singles, or blank will be back-to-back walks. It'll be back-to-back walks for Ezekiel Duran and Bubba Thompson will lead things off here off of the men on base chart for the 2022 Texas Rangers. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a slugger hits home of a 12. Slugger hits home run. Bubba Thompson is not a slugger, so that's going to be a single. And their first run of the game comes off of that RBI single by Bubba Thompson as they now trail by 3. As that will end the top half of the 5th with the score of 4-1 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. We head to the bottom half of the 5th, and Ray Morehart will lead things off. 146 is Martin Perez, an ace or dynamic pitcher? No, he is not. Is Ray Morehart a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result, -1 from black die if control. Martin Perez does not have control. Oh, that's going to force to load the bases here in the 5th inning here for the 1927 Yankees. And it looks like we'll have to roll the decider die again to determine the outcome. Dot is equaling 3 hits, or blank is equaling C, multiple runners on base. And it looks like Morehart will collect 3 hits for his appearance off of the men on base for this men on base result. And again, I roll any colored die with 1 equaling a home run, or excuse me, 1 or a 6 equaling a home run, 2 or a 5 is a single, 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double. That's going to be a single with a 5, another 5 with another single, and another 5 with 3 singles, back to back to back singles for Ray Morehart, as now Julie Guerra will lead things off on the men on base chart for the 1927 Yankees. 3, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 34. Slugger hits double. Julie Guerra is a semi-slugger. However, the decider die says he is not a slugger. That is going to be a single, and runners will advance 2 bases. So the runner on third will score, runner on second will score, runner on first will go to third. So that is a total of 2 runs scored, and the 1927 Yankees lead this game by a score of 6-1 here in Game 4 of this series. And that's going to do it for the bottom half of the 5th here at Yankee Stadium number 1, as the 1927 Yankees now lead this game by a score of 6-1, heading to the top half of the 6th inning. And we got the power bats of Marcus Semien and Corey Seager due up here in the Rangers order. 1-3-4 is Hoyt, an ace pitcher. He is a semi-ace. The decider die says he is an ace. So that's going to be a 1 dot off of the no runs narrative result. And that's going to do it for the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium 1 for the 2022 Texas Rangers, as they trail by 5 with the score of 6-1. We head to the bottom half of the 6th, and Johnny Grabowski will bat against Martin Perez, as the 2022 Rangers manager will keep Perez in the game, and we'll bring in someone new out of the pen in the 7th inning. We have a 2-2-4. Is Perez an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Grabowski a utility batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a a men on base result with a -1 for black die of control. Perez has semi-control. The decider die says he does have control. So that is going to be reduced from a black die 4 to a black die 3. We'll put the runners on first and second. And it'll be back-to-back walks for Johnny Grabowski off of my homebrew optional men on base narrative song. And here comes Earl Combs to lead things off for the 1927 Yankees here in the bottom half of the 6th. Because I forgot to switch that to the bottom half of the 6th on the progress bar. So there we go. Let's head to the men on base chart for Earl Combs. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 23. Eager grounds out. Earl Combs is not an eager batter, so that is going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases up for Mark Koenig. And before he takes his cracks at Martin Perez or maybe the possibility of the bullpen and the Texas Rangers, let's see if that bullpen is active. They are. How about the Yankees pen? They are not. Is Perez going to stay in the game? He is not. So it looks like Perez will be done after 5 and 2/3 of work here in this ball game. And with that, we will take a quick timeout as the Texas Rangers make a quick pitching change. Looks like John King will be the new pitcher out of the 2022 Texas Rangers bullpen. And it looks like he is going to get the ace quality for this at bat against Mark Koenig as we go to the main chart here, or excuse me, back to the main chart here for Mark Koenig's turn. 256. Is King a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Koenig a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That's going to be a men on base result, and unfortunately, that's going to clear the bases and put the 1927 Yankees up 9-1, and this game is well out of reach for the Texas Rangers as they try and they try and they try. They try and they try to figure out a way to win this ball game, but somehow, some way, it's not working for them. So this game is so the Yankees may have just forced Game 5 here in game number 4 by the score of 9-1, but we will see what happens in the final 3 innings. So with that being said, a new men on base result needs to be determined, and it was a 256. Does John King have flash? It looks like he has semi-flash. The decider die says he does. So the black die 2 will be reduced to a black die 1, and it will be a single for Mark Koenig. And we'll be back on the men on base chart for Babe Ruth, the Bambino, to hit away for the 1927 Yankees. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 15. Scrapper hits double. Unfortunately for Babe Ruth, he is not a scrapper. That is hit high, hit far, and gone. And the Yankees may have just forced Game 5, immediately just forced Game 5 by with that home run. So once again, that'll be the end of the sixth here at Yankee Stadium 1 with the score 1927 Yankees 11 and the 2022 Texas Rangers 1. And it looks like the Yankees are going to take Waite Hoyt out of the game. So with that being said, we will take another quick timeout as the 1927 Yankees make a quick pitching change. Timeout. Well, it's not a safe situation, but we will give him some bullpen work anyway, as Wilcie Moore will come in to hopefully keep the score right here where it's at, as Corey Seager will be the leadoff batter to face off against him here for the top half of the seventh. 2-4-5. Is Wilcie a struggler pitcher? No. Is Corey Seager a sad sack batter? Nuh-uh. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die of flash or control. Wilcie has control, so that black die 5 will be reduced to a black die 4, and it will be 2 hits being awarded to Corey Seager here to lead off the top half of the seventh. 10 to tie, 12, 11 to take the lead. And they do it. 4 is a double. And 3 is a triple for Corey Seager. And Nathaniel Lowe will bat now off of the men on base chart for the top half of the seventh. 1, 2, or excuse me, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 16. Good eye rolls again. However, Nathaniel Lowe does not have a good eye. That's going to be a strikeout to take us to the stretch with a score of 11-1 here at Yankee Stadium number 1. We go now to the bottom half of the seventh inning, and Luke Gehrig will lead things off against John King here in the bottom half of the seventh. 2-3-5. Is King a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Gehrig a sad sack? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result, -1 from black die of flash. John King has semi-flash. The decider die says he does. So it looks like the black die will be reduced to a black die 2. And it will be a 2 and a 5. It'll be a single and a stolen base for Lou Gehrig here in the bottom half of the seventh. And Ben Pascal will lead things off on the men on base chart here in the bottom half of the seventh. Again, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. John King has control, so that's going to do it for the seventh inning here at the stadium. Your score remains 11-1 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Here's Wilcie Moore going up against Adolis Garcia to lead off the top half of the league. And we have a 3-6-6. Workman pitcher for Wilcie Moore. Nope. Utility batter for Adolis Garcia. Nope. So that's going to be an RBI question mark result, and it looks like Adolis Garcia is going to get the RBI as the 2022 Rangers get another run across home plate with the score of 11-2 still in favor of the 1927 Yankees. And let's roll for the outcome off of my micro RBI narrative chart. It'll be an error, and it will be occurring in the outfield by the right fielder, Babe Ruth. Rare do you see errors made out there with Babe Ruth. So that'll be it for the top half of the eighth, as the score is now 11-2 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. As we head to the bottom half of the eighth, Ray Morehart will be the batter. 2-4-6 is King a star pitcher? No. Is Morehart a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a no runs result with a possible solo home run check, and it will be nowhere in sight for the home run king or slugger qualities for Ray Morehart. So it'll be a no runs result of 4 to end the eighth inning at Yankee Stadium. And wouldn't you know, Jonah Heim will lead off against Wilcie Moore, who is just out of the bullpen just to get some work in. And let's see what he can do let's see what Jonah can do against Wilcie Moore. 2-2-6 is Wilcie an ace pitcher? He is, and this ball game is over. Man, oh man, the 1927 Yankees have forced game number 5 for the, let me just double check here, for the, let's see here, one. To my knowledge, I think for the 3rd time in this series, or in this video series, and let me just double check here. It's 1, 2, yeah, I would believe the 3rd or 4th time, but I will make sure to correct myself for next time. So we will see you later on today. And again, if you stumbled upon this video in the YouTube algorithm, I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. And if you do like the content that you see, feel free to subscribe to my channel so that way you won't miss out on any future content that I may post on my YouTube channel. So with that being said, we will see you back in Arlington for Game 5 and your final score as the 1927 Yankees tie the series up at 2 games apiece to force a winner-take-all matchup by a final score of 11-2.